Ladies and gentlemen, President Festus Mogae of Botswana.
Thank you, thank you. I'm afraid the clapping might protrude into my 4 minutes. Mr. David Barron, Master of Ceremony, President of ICCF, Mr. Bill Archer, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The future of our planet Earth is dependent on how well we care for the environment and manage our natural resources. I will briefly highlight our efforts and the challenges that we are faced with in the management of the environment and protection of our natural resources in our little Botswana. I should add that the support of the U.S. government, the international community, and the private sector will greatly enhance our efforts. Given time constraints, let me simply highlight some of the efforts I have just referred to. As much as 37% of Botswana's land surface area, comprising national parks, game reserves, forest reserves, and wildlife management areas, have been set aside for conservation of natural resources. That alone is a measure of our decision as a country to give high priority to conservation. In 1990, we adopted the National Policy on Natural Resources Conservation and Development, under which my government addresses major conservation challenges. As a measure of its commitment to conservation, the Botswana government has enacted an environmental impact assessment law under which all major projects, including those of the government, are subjected to environmental impact assessment. Furthermore, the Botswana government has demonstrated its commitment to conservation by signing most of the global multilateral environmental agreements, particularly those arising from the 1992 Earth Summit in Rio. Botswana and its neighbors in Southern Africa have created a number of transfrontier parks which will allow animals to move freely across boundaries. We are confident that this initiative will boost our conservation efforts and therefore hope that your private sector will participate in this important initiative. Our relative success has, however, not been without challenges, and I wish to briefly highlight one of the major challenges, which is the management of our elephant numbers. As a direct outcome of our effective though expensive conservation measures, the number of our elephants in Botswana has grown to over 150,000. A number which is unfortunately far in excess of the carrying capacity of our semi-arid country. We, including our neighbors in the rest of Southern Africa, need to control the numbers significantly to arrest the current environmental degradation, which in turn is threatening the very existence of the elephant population and other species. The blanket ban on trade in elephant products by the Convention on International Trade and Endangered Species has unfortunately worsened the plight of elephants in respect of countries that have excessive numbers of the animals. And we in Botswana, believe it or not, have an excessive number of elephants. If you don't believe me, please come to Botswana and see for yourself. Not just in the Okavango where you saw the video, but other parts of the country. We therefore appeal to the U.S. government and other concerned parties to influence a more positive approach to conservation of elephants. The current concessions CITES has given us is too late and inadequate. Let me therefore conclude my remarks by once again emphasizing that we are committed to protection of the environment and need your support to succeed in all the conservation efforts I've just outlined. I thank you.